It's the middle of August, and I wanted to give you guys a quick garden tour. I have pulled up all my cucumbers for the season. They were trellised over here. They did good at the beginning, and then the heat was making them a little bitter. So we pulled them up a lot earlier than we do. Sprinkled down a bunch of diatomaceous earth to kill those squash bugs that are going to try to go down in the soil in the raised beds. So we went ahead and did that. And then we also pulled up all of our green beans today. So we had a row here, here, and then we had a row over there. All of green beans. We got lots of green beans this year. It was our biggest bean season yet. So they really thrived in the raised beds. Again, we put a bunch of diatomaceous earth all around here too, in both of the great big beds. My tomato broke over, but it did really well. A lot of the plants actually broke over from the storms that we had. We had a lot of storms this year, but that's okay. They're still growing really well, so we kind of are just letting them do their thing. I've got some banana peppers and jalapenos right over there that are growing into each other, but again, they're not stressed. They actually seem really happy, so we're letting them go. Did not get a single pumpkin this year. The squash bugs were so bad. I came out twice a day picking off the eggs and killing the ones that I found, and they just continued to come. They really liked all of the heat and the rain this year. So we're gonna have to buy some pumpkins, but that's okay. The kids like doing that anyways. The watermelon thrived. We have had more watermelon this year than we've ever had, and we continue to pick like great big ones like this every single day. So we've been eating a lot of good melon, which is great because it's been so hot. We need the minerals and the hydration from the melons. But with all that being said, I want to be fully transparent with you and let you know the goods and the bads of what we did this year. So in the spring, I told you we put down all of this fabric that we got from our Amish friends. It's doing amazing in all the spots that we have it. So every spot that we have let's see, we put down these little staple things or pins. Every single spot we have this, it did amazing. Remember at the beginning of the season, I planted those tomatoes before we did the raised beds. Chris did the raised beds for me for my Mother's Day gift. And I had to get my tomatoes in the ground like literally like 10 days before we milled those with our sawmill from our woods. So these are the tomatoes. Just full transparency. This is why we had to put this fabric down, because when we did it in the past, it doesn't matter how much I pull weeds. I literally went through and I wood chipped this area very thick. I mean, almost 2 feet of wood chips went down in this whole area of tomatoes. And I cannot get to my tomatoes, and they got so choked out with all of the hay and everything, all of the weeds, that we really didn't have a tomato harvest. And in full honesty, that stinks. But back here, our elderberry is doing the best it's ever done. I mean, those heads are so big, and oh man, that one right back there, that guy's ready. Yep, we're gonna have to harvest that. But again, right back here is the spot that I didn't put any paper down, and it was just so hot. I just chose, I'm like, I just can't even today, because with the heat index, it's been about 105 to 110 every week the entire summer. It literally went from winter to summer. So we weed eated around the peach trees, there, and then right up there. So you can see why we need the fabric. This stuff does amazing. It does amazing. Best stuff. It was really hard to roll it out. I did it by myself, but the sections are like from here all the way to like there. So it's huge. You can get them all different sizes. But I love this stuff. We're going to go back and we're going to get more to finish off all the area. And then we're going to go a little bit closer around the fruit trees, just so that we don't have as much. We have to mulch, because we have to mulch twice a year in order to keep the hay and the weeds down, because you can see what we're dealing with. This was where I had the onions. The onions did great, and then I just let the stuff go because I got all my onions that I needed. So, but even up against the fence, we put it up as close as we could to the fence, and there's not much room up here besides like around the fig tree, which is still doing great, but there's about a foot right here. And my son came through today. All of the weeds and the hay and stuff was 12 feet high. So it looks like a mess right now, but it's a blessed mess. This was the best garden season we've had here on the farm. Again, we've been trying it for 4 years now, all different methods. We tried the no-till, we tried putting the cardboard down, the boxes down, and then putting wood chips on top of it. And we tried that for 2 years, and it just kept growing through just like that. And then the next year we tried tilling it and then doing that, and it just still wasn't happy. So we went ahead and tried this. Our Amish friends recommended it with the fabric and then the raised beds, and it's doing great. And I've not seen any voles because last year they ate over 100 strawberry plants in our strawberry patch. We put down this hardware cloth underneath. That's gonna have to be stapled again, but underneath the raised beds, we have our trellises with the cattle paneling, and this has been the method to go. So we're gonna add more raised beds. We just started off with these two because again, we're like, what if this doesn't work out too? So we were just taking it slow this year, but this is definitely the route we wanna go going forward to prevent all of this. This is all of the stuff that my son knocked down today. So, and the weed eater wouldn't even get through some of it because it was so thick. So we had to get some old, machete type things. But that's what it looks like. And we still have so much more to go. Look at all that. So this is the before. We'll do some fall cleanup at the, we're into summer right now, but I want to get all this cleaned up so we can get some greens going, get some carrots planted. So we got the diatomaceous earth down. We'll let it set for a few days. And then we'll get it all cleaned up. I leave the leaves. So like all of these leaves and stuff, I actually leave those. They're going to decompose and do real good. So we'll just rake it in about a week or so. Plant our fall greens. We'll get some fall peas going. I've never actually done fall peas because we usually keep our cucumbers going pretty late. And then there's no time to get them sprouted. So I think we will try the peas this year. I'm excited. So we'll see what happens. This was a big trial year. But look how beautiful the marigolds are. So it's great. So I hope this helps you if you were curious about how it was going to turn out. It did great in the spots we had it. So you can see the difference, even the paths in between all the stuff. We have little chunks of holes of where we have our herbs growing in between. So some of those are actually herbs and we need them there. Like we have a lot of stinging nettle, valerian, lots of different things back there. I can tell what's what. Back there we have a bunch of different berries in each patch, but again, that hay just grows right through everything. So there it is. But we're blessed. Some of the stuff that started to go bad or whatever, like if we didn't get to a watermelon in time and it kind of exploded, we're able to just throw it over the fence to the chickens. But we had so much rain this year and so much heat that everything is literally like 8 feet taller than it usually is. So we're already starting to lose some of our apple leaves, but it's just that time of year. Anyway, I hope this blesses you and helps you if you were curious and didn't know if you wanted to plunge and make this decision. I say go for it. I really do. It will decompose. Because it is, they've done something to it, but this is a more natural method of doing the weed barrier. It's not regular plastic stuff like other things. Like this right here, if we don't put some stuff down on it, it will fray from all the wind and stuff, and it just starts to break apart and it starts to decompose. So the goal is to get more raised beds in here, put wood chips down on top of this, and then eventually, as it decomposes within the next 3 or so years, is what our Amish friends tell us. They have to replace it that often. We'll have wood chips on top of it that we continue to build up. And so then we shouldn't have to do anything else. That's the goal. That's the hope. Yahweh willing, if he allows that to happen, it's going to be great. But look at all this basil. We've had the best basil this year. We've had so much pesto. So we have purple and green. Got some mint in there. I got cut on my finger today, or technically yesterday, but it broke open again. So I broke off some fig leaves because I get the milk out of the fig leaves and I put it on the cut just to help clean it. It burns at first, but it sterilizes it. So did that. And then we'll take those leaves and make some tea out of it today. Can't let it go to waste. So we use the whole thing. But that's the garden. The real full truth of the update of what happened this year. The good and the not so good. But that's it. All right, be blessed.